Greetings, everybody. This is Archangel McIntosh, aka Mikael Israel, from the 12 tribes of Israel, the Levi and Judah, the tribe of Judah. Also, I'm a Moorish indigenous sovereign American, here to share natural information with you guys that people are not being told about nowadays, and I feel like it's my job to keep people informed. Well, in today's video, we're in part 6, the final video that I'm going to share with you guys today based on the supreme laws and things like that. So if you haven't seen the previous videos, please make sure you stop and watch those videos. If you'd like to donate to me or give me a gift or anything like that, please contact me. It does help. It does motivate me, and all the money and the cash or dollars, whatever it is, will be going back to the people. You see what I'm saying? It maybe not right away, but as things start to unravel and develop and stuff, we can be able to generate the money and place it back to where it belongs. It's to the people, back to the people. We run this system. So that's why we're spiritually sovereign and indigenous creditors of me, of Mother Earth. You see? So this page is still not published yet. I've been making a series of videos to pretty much just keep you guys informed about certain things and give you a warm up of what we're going to be discussing in this school. There's many things that we will be discussing in this school. Many different things, you know, about the bank, nature, spirituality, sovereignty, exercise, the system in the matrix, dollars and gold, the redemption, you know, how to free yourself, become a secure party creditor, how to become spiritual or remember your spiritual essence. Like, it's a pretty big movement. Private laws, statute laws, national laws, merchant laws, corporate laws, bankruptcy laws, trust laws, like, we're gonna get into this, you know what I'm saying? And right now, I'm still setting up everything, so I'm not complete. So let's go ahead and begin our lesson for today. You can find this information right here at this website. I find it very useful and informative, and this is where I'm gonna wrap up everything about the 12 tribes of Israel. So today we're going to talk about just the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not the Moors this time. So I'm only sharing this for educational and mind entertainment purposes only. I do not give any legal advice. This is not my information that I'm sharing to you on this specific page that I have highlighted. But I do find it interesting, and I know whoever made this wouldn't mind me sharing it with you guys. So let's go ahead. Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians are the real Hebrew Israelites by heritage and bloodlines. Wake up, Israel, one Israelite at a time. So it says, Kwam Yisrael, rise, Israel. Kwam Yisrael, pardon me. Kwam Yisrael, rise, Israel. Yisrael. Yashaharala. Yeah, Yashaharala. There we go. Kwam Yashaharala. So Kwam means rise, Yashaharala means Israel. So it probably will be Yasaharala Kwam. Because remember, we read from right to left. Give praises to our Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashai, Halawaya. Hallelujah. Halawaya. Remember, there's no U's in these things right here. If you've seen the last video about the Moors and the Hebrew Israelites and the Haitian video, or Haitian, you would have seen this on that page. I'm going to keep it moving. So the true name for Israel or Jacob is Yasaharala. That's the name of Jacob, of Jacob. Cool, we already seen all this. So alright, let's read. In Genesis 4, in Genesis 49, section 1, and Yasar, pardon me, let me see how you say it again. Yasharala. Okay. Yasharala. Yahasharala. So, and Yahasharala, or Jacob, or Jacob, called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. So all the 12 tribes of Yis-RoyAl Elohim have heard this, which is Yaakov, Yis-RoyAl. In Genesis 49, section 2, gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Yaakov, Israel, and hearken unto Israel your father, Yis-RoyAl. Judah, Yahawada, so-called Negroes. Revelations 5, section 5. And one of the elders saith unto me, weep not, behold the Lion of the tribe of Yahawada, Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book, and to loose the 7 seals thereof. Genesis 29, section 35. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and she said, now will I praise Adonai. Therefore she called his name Yahawada, Judah, and left bearing. Genesis 49, section 8. Judah, Yahawada, thou art he whom the brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. And this is what it's saying about us here in America, the tribe of Judah. We're going to be eliminating pretty much our enemy. The Most High has sent many people. No matter what happens, it's going to happen. It's been prophesied. And the children of America will be the first ones to rebel. That's why they have them first. Judah, the Lion of Judah. This is what's going to sprout everything. Because America, black Americans have not gained their freedom yet. They've been slaves for many years and have never fought back, have never done shit. So it's time. And it's not going to be a race war, but a war against the Babylon. So Genesis 49, section 9. Yahweh, Judah, is a lion's whelp. Pardon me. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up. So once again, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up. So it's a wise lion, very strong lion. We've been through a lot of stuff, so we know the game. So Genesis 49, section 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. So Deuteronomy 32, section 7. And this is the blessing of Judah. And he said, hear Adonai, the voice of Yahawada, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him, and be thou in help to him from his enemies. And you guys know who is our enemy here. I don't need to point it out and raise any hell. It has been risen. Look at our beautiful hair, Afrocentric. Got all these black people, dark-skinned people trying to straighten out their hair and flatten it down and stuff like white people. I'm not trying to choose sides once again, like I said. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. My people are who they are. I happen to be a guy with an afro or dreads, with locks. This is all of us. So okay, Benjamin now. Banyamyan, so-called West Indies, which includes Jamaica, Belize, Trinidad, Barbados, to name a few. The Caribbean. Genesis 35, section 18. And it came to pass, as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni. But his father called him Benjamin, Banyamyan. Genesis 49, section 27. Banyamyan shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. So we're savages. Deuteronomy 33, section 12. And of Benjamin, he said, the beloved of Adonai shall dwell in safety by him, and Adonai shall cover him all the day long, and he shall dwell between his shoulders. And this is only to those who are living by the commandments of the Most High, Yahweh, and accept Yahweh Shai as the only Savior, because it is He who saved with Himself. We are Christ. We are Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai wasn't one man we looked up in idol. That was not part of our religion and culture and belief. All that idol shit, worship stuff came from England. So yeah, we are Yahweh Shai. We are Christ. Christ is a group of people, just like the Antichrist is a group of people who's against our people. So Laoya, Levi, so-called Haitians. Genesis 29, section 34. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husbands be joined unto me. That's why Lawa means that, joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons. Therefore was his name called Levi, Laoya. Genesis 49, section 5. Simeon, which is the Dominicans, and Levi, which are the Haitians, are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. Genesis 49, section 6. O my soul, come not thou into their secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slay or slew a man, and in their self-will they digged down a wall. So Haitians and Dominicans are crazy savages. Like, they'll fuck you up with that voodoo stuff. What? And certain things, like, yeah, man, the only reason why they're being punished now because they've been using it against each other, and they haven't been living by the law, the natural and universal laws of the Most High, love, peace, truth, unity, and justice, stuff like that. So they've been cursed. Once you leave those type of rules, you get cursed. It's not because you've done voodoo or because you have done bad, but because you make bad a religion, you make bad a way. That's a breach of contract, you see. But ultimately, the Haitians and Dominicans have this in them because that's who they are. They have this killer mentality in them. Like, don't fuck with me. I'll tear you limb from limb with this machete right now. Don't fuck with me. So, but that also got us in trouble. So Genesis 49, section 7. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob, which is Jerusalem, and scatter them in Israel, which mean they pretty much, they'll be scattered everywhere and not really have a place in Israel, but they'll be like the priests of Israel and the leaders of Israel and things like that, but they won't have like actual property and land claimed in Israel. So Haiti became their land, the land of the mountains, not Israel. Numbers 1, section 49. Only thou shalt not number the tribe of Levi, neither take the sum of them among the children of Israel. Numbers 1, verse 1, section 50. But thou shalt appoint the Levites over the Laoya, over the tabernacle of testimony, and over all the vessels thereof, and over all things that belong to it. They shall bear the tabernacle, and all the vessels thereof, and they shall minister unto it, priest, and shall encamp round about the tabernacle. The Levites were commissioned to be the priests of Yasharala, or Yasharala. Deuteronomy 33, section 8. And of Levi he said, let thy Tumim and the Urim be with the Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massah, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah. Deuteronomy 33, section 9. Who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant. Deuteronomy 30. So Haitian people are really spiritual. Haitian and Dominican, very spiritual. Deuteronomy 33, section 10. They shall teach Jacob, Yisraelights, thy judgments, and Yisraelights, Jacob, Israel, thy law. They shall put incense before thee, and whole burnt sacrifice upon thine altar. So that sounds like all witchcraft to me and stuff, but you know, it's funny that in the Christian Bibles it says we're banned from doing these things, but then you got Christ, which is using all these powers, which is a form of witchcraft, you know. And they're telling us not to use it, but yet the Bible is constantly saying altar, tabernacle, temple, stuff like that has to do with rituals. Deuteronomy and burnt offerings, all that stuff. Deuteronomy 33, section 11. Bless Adonai his substance, and accept the work of its hands. Smite through the lions of them that rise against him, and of them that hate him, that they rise not again. So those who harm the Haitians are gonna be fucked up, just like Toussaint Louverture had already accomplished and established before the Haitians enslaved themselves again. So Shamiwan, Simeon, so-called Dominican Republic. Shamiwan. Genesis 29, section 33. And she conceived again, and bare a son, and said, because Adonai hath heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his son, and she called his name Shamiwan. Shamiwan. Genesis 49, section 5. Shamiwan, Simeon, and Lawa, Levi, are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their inhabitations. And look at them, they live right next to each other. They're one freaking race, one family. They're beefing with each other, to a point where the Creator separated their tongue, their language. The traditional Yoruba religion, which mean Jewish, the real name for that, Yoruba, and its Centeria counterpart, can be found in many parts of the world today, including Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, and the United States, mainly as a result of mostly Cuban and Puerto Rican migration. So Afro-Caribbean Creole religions aren't native to the Dominican Republic, but they are widely practiced here. So a vast majority of the Dominican population is considered to be Catholic. However, the Creole, which is the Vatican and Roman, the voodoo stuff, all that evil shit. However, the Creole religions of the Caribbean are often practiced in secret, making it difficult to count the number of followers. Officially, many of the people who practice these Afro-Caribbean religions consider themselves Catholic as well. The Dominican Republic is not home to its own Creole religion in the same way that the social climate in Cuba gave birth to Santeria, or Haiti's history gave rise to voodoo or voodoo. Still, witchcraft is not uncommon on the island, and immigrants have brought their home religions with them, particularly those who have crossed the border from Haiti. The religious freedom in the country means Dominicans are free to practice whatever religion they choose. In Genesis 49, section 6, O my soul, come not thou in their secret unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slay a man, and in their self-will they dig down a wall. Why do Haitians hate Dominicans so much, or Dominicans hate Haitians so much? answers. I don't feel that way about any Dominican and nothing. I love everybody. Some Haitians and Dominicans cannot get along for many reasons. It's not just that all Haitians hate Dominicans and all Dominicans hate Haitians and hate Haitians. In the Dominican Republic, Spanish colonization in the 16th century brought sugar, slavery, racial prejudice to the island. A white Spanish elite, Spain, from England, controlled the colony's administration and ruled over a mixed population of Creoles and slaves. Spain and France were rivals, so that gave Dominicans a national pride they had to prove to Spain, and the same for the Haitians. Haitians helped the Dominican Republic to gain freedom and were allies, but somewhere white supremacy came along and Dominicans wanted to keep the whites and blacks separate. That is why they inbreded with Italians and Jews to erase traces of African and slave ancestry. No wonder they turned so white. I was wondering. Or the Dominicans are pretty light. I was actually with a Dominican before. Very racist family. Very racist. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't, feel it. I just knew they were just racist. It's the way they look at me, the way they talk to me. It was crazy. And I always heard this, but I never believed it. I still don't. So basically, it is just racism and white supremacy which started the feud, and Haitians view that as wrong, which it is. Even white Haitians hate black Haitians. It's stupid. Stupid. All in all, there is no reason for Haitians and Dominicans to not get along because we come from the same roots, basically like two families joining together and then separating. Spain plus Africans equal Dominicans. French plus Africans equal Haitians. That's why Dominicans speak Spanish and African, and Haitians speak African and French, which is called Creole. And Jamaicans speak Patois, because really one of the English people that mix their English with the Jamaicans, so they speak broken English, which is African and English. In America, we speak broken English. That's why our language in America is English. I'm speaking English right now. Do you comprehend English? You know what I'm saying? So the English people, they're just enslaving everybody, man. This is the Europeans' history. Then add other European countries into the mix. The two cultures are not much different in ancestry. Haitians in Dominican Republic face racism, discrimination. Up to 1 million people of Haitian origin currently live in the Dominican Republic, and many are subjected to discrimination and violence because they're Haitian. Many impoverished Haitians cross the border into the Dominican Republic looking for arable land, fuel, and work. Often they face racial prejudice, and the Dominican-born children are refused citizenship because they are considered in transit. These children are left stateless. In May of this year, a Haitian migrant was beheaded in the Dominican Republic. The incident sparked renewed outrage over treatment of Haitians in the country. Let's see what this says. Many Haitians migrate to the Dominican Republic for employment and are subsequently subjected to discrimination. It's crazy. No wonder they hate each other. So let's go. So Genesis 49, section 7. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jerusalem, in Israel, Jacob, and scatter them in Israel. Alright, let's continue. Immigration. Main article, Dominican American. Main article, Dominican immigration to Puerto Rico. The first of three late 20th century immigration waves began in 1961 after the assassination of dictator Trujillo, due to fear of retaliation by Trujillo's allies and political uncertainty in general. In 1965, the United States began a military occupation of the Dominican Republic to end a Roman Catholic Vatican civil war. Roman Civil War. Upon this, the United States eased travel restrictions, making it easier for Dominicans to obtain United States Incorporated international visas. From 1966 to 1978, the exodus continued. Fueled by high unemployment and political repression, communities established by the first wave of immigrants to the United States Incorporated created a network that assisted subsequent arrivals. In the early 1980s, underemployment, inflation, and the rise in value of the dollar all contributed to a third wave of immigration from the island nation. Today, immigration from the Dominican Republic remains high. In 2006, there were approximately 1.3 million people of Dominican descent in the United States Incorporated, counting both native and foreign-born. There is also a growing Dominican immigration to Puerto Rico. Alright, so wait, what is this? 1CH, I don't know what this one is. Verse 12, section 25. Of the children of Simeon, mighty men of the valor for the war, 7,100. So right here would be the Dominicans. They're a mix of Haitians and Africans, as you can tell. Alright, Zebulon, so-called Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama. All these people are originally dark-skinned. Genesis 30, section 20. And Leah said, Yahweh hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him 6 sons. And she called his name Zebulon. Genesis 49, section 13. Zebulon, wait, hold on. Oh, Zabalawa. Zabalawa shall dwell at the haven of the sea, and he shall be for an haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon. Deuteronomy 38, section 18. And of Zebulon he said, Rejoice, Zebulon, in thy going out, and Issachar, in thy tents, or Yasharkar. Deuteronomy 33, section 19. They shall call the people unto the mountain. There they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck of the abundance of the seas, and of treasures hid in the sand. So there's a lot of treasures and abundance and prosperity hidden in the Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Panama. Very rich place, very rich resources, very rich dirt and sand. Food just grows so easily. Very beautiful place. Alright, 1CH, verse 12, section 33. Of Zebulon, Zabalawa. Of Zabalawa, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, with all instruments of war, 50,000, which could keep rank. They were not of double heart. That's good. Let thy heart be single. So as you can tell, they were all dark skinned before they got raped by the English or mated with the English and all that stuff. So now we're starting to see where everything came from. Ephraim, Aparaya, Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans. Genesis 41, section 52. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, Aparaya. For Yahweh hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. Genesis 48, section 13. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them near unto each other. So the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans are like the left and right hand of the Most High. Genesis 48, section 14. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hand wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. Cool. So Genesis 48, section 15. And he blessed Joseph, and said, Yahweh, before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac did walk, Yahweh, which fed me all my life long unto this day. Alright, Genesis 48, section 16. The angel which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, and let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude in the midst of the earth. Genesis 48, section 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. Genesis 48, section 19. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. Genesis 48:20. And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, Yahweh made thee as Ephraim, as Apariah, and as Manasseh, and he set Ephraim before Manasseh. Genesis 49, section 22. Joseph is a fruitful bough, even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the wall. Genesis, so their family line, family tree run long, deep. Genesis 49:23. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. Genesis 49, section 24. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty, Yahweh of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. So almost at the bottom of this, Genesis 49, section 26. The blessings of thy father have prevailed above the blessings of my progenitors. Unto the utmost bound of the everlasting hills, they shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren. Deuteronomy 33 verse or section 13, whichever one. And Joseph, he said, blessed of Adonai be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that crouched beneath. Deuteronomy 33, section 15. And for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills. So, and for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills, like precious metals, precious rubies and stones and stuff. Deuteronomy 33, section 16. And for the precious things of the earth, and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelleth in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. Deuteronomy 33, section 17. His glory, and they're talking about Cubans, the Cuba. Beautiful place. Precious stone, fruits everywhere, beautiful ancient mountains. Just very beautiful. Very beautiful. Deuteronomy 33, 17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, So his glory is like the firstling of his bullock, Cuba, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim's, or the 10,000s of Apariah, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And these are them. They're originally dark-skinned people too. Our people has been raped. So Manasseh, so-called Cubans. Genesis 41, section 51. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for Yahweh said, He hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. The house of the zodiac sign, stars, a constellation. Genesis 48, section 13. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim, Apariah, Ephraim, pardon me. Alright. And Joseph took them both, Ephraim in his right hand toward Israel's left hand, and Manasseh in his left hand towards Israel's right hand, and brought them both near unto each other, like a prayer. Genesis 48, section 14. And Israel stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Ephraim's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manasseh's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manasseh was the firstborn. Genesis 48, section 15. And he blessed Joseph and said, Yahweh, before whom my fathers Abram and Isaac did walk, Yahweh, which fed me all my life long unto this day. Genesis 48, 17. And when Joseph saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Ephraim, it displeased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Ephraim's head unto Manasseh's head. Genesis 48, section 18. That's probably why the Cubans and pretty much, hold on, let me see, the Cubans and, okay, so these were the Puerto Ricans, pardon me. I knew I did something wrong. Alright, so that's why the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans kind of be, getting into it, and the Dominicans. We're all the same though. They're all from the same tribe. Wow, this is ridiculous. Alright, let's continue. Genesis 48, section 18. And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. Genesis 48, section 20. And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel bless, saying, Yahweh make thee as Ephraim and as Manasseh. And he set Ephraim before Manasseh. So Genesis 48, section 21. And Israel said unto Joseph, or Jacob, or Yasharala, pardon me, Yasharala. So, and Yasharala said unto Joseph, Behold, I die, but Yahweh shall be with you, and bring you again into the land of your fathers. Deuteronomy section 33, Deuteronomy 33, section 13. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of Adonai be his land, for the precious things of heaven, for the dew, and for the deep that coucheth beneath. Deuteronomy 33, section 14. And for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon. So even Cuba is similar to Puerto Rico. Beautiful place, fruits, everything. Deuteronomy 33, section 14. and for the precious fruits brought forth by the sun, by the sun, and for the precious things put forth by the moon. Deuteronomy 33, section 15. And for the chief things of the ancient mountains, and for the precious things of the lasting hills. Deuteronomy 33, section 16. And for the precious things of the earth and fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelleth in the bush. Let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, and upon the top of the head of him that was separated from his brethren. Us, the 12 tribes. Deuteronomy 33, section 17. His glory is like the firstling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push the people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000s of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. So the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans, the Boricuas, will be pretty much getting together. So here we go. God, we're almost at the end. God, so-called Native American Indians. Genesis 30, section 11. And Leah said, a troop cometh, and she called his name God. Genesis 49, section 19. God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. At the end times, right now. Deuteronomy 33, section 20. And of God he said, blessed be he that enlargeth God. He dwelleth as a lion, and teareth the arm with the crown of the head. Deuteronomy 33, section 21. And he provided the first part for himself, because therein a portion of the lawgiver was he seated. And he came with the heads of the people. He executed the justice of Adonai, and his judgments with Israel. 1 CH, or 1 Corinthians 12, section 14. These were of the sons of God, captains of the host. One of the least was over 100, and the greatest over 1,000. And these are the Indians they're talking about, that have been killed off here too and taken up by the white man and all that stuff. They're coming back, and most of them, as you can tell, they were dark skinned, although they try to gray out their pictures and stuff like that. They're not black. That's why I said there's no such thing as a black race or black people. You know what I'm saying? Black is an adjective. I'm not even black, but yet I'm still part of the tribe. The color ranges from a certain variant. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean all black, pure black, just black people. You know, that's just, no wonder people fighting over bullshit. Alright. Ra'awaban, Reuben, so-called Seminole Indians. The word Seminole is a corruption of Cimarron, a Spanish term for runaway or wild one, historically used for certain Native American groups in Florida. Seminole Ridge. They have a school down here in Florida called Seminole Ridge. Wow, we actually live on Indian territory. Like, all the streets are named like Avocado, Citrus Grove, Orange Boulevard, you know, things like that. Coconut Grove, Coconut Boulevard. Like, it's funny. Like, man, this stuff makes so much sense to me. The term runaway or wild one is also symbolic for Reuben, Ra'awaban, being called unstable as water. Genesis 29, section 32. And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his son Reuben, Ra'awaban. For she said, surely Adonai had looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. Israel is the husband. Genesis 49, section 3. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power. Rahawaban. In the 1830s, rounding up Seminoles for removal was difficult since they had scattered through the swamps in search of food. In 1832, they signed the Treaty of Payne's Landing. It called for organized removal from Florida within 3 years. The Seminoles would be moved to Indian Territory and be placed near their Creek relatives. The thought of removal, the loss of their slaves, and assimilation within the Creek tribe caused the Second Seminole War in 1836. White traders and soldiers became the target of hostilities and bloody confrontations until a Seminole warrior called Jumper, the Sense Keeper, proposed a truce. The Seminoles would move further south into Florida if the soldiers would leave them alone. The truce was short-lived and the violence resumed until a warrior named Micanopy was captured with his slave, Ben. Ben was sent home and told the Seminoles that both sides were tired of fighting and that a truce could be reached if members of the tribe would go to Camp Dade, the Dade County, for a peace treaty. In 1837, leaders of the Seminoles went to Tampa Bay, and the Seminoles agreed to be transported west. Holy, love, this is crazy. I'm learning stuff about my location right here, right now. So let's continue. Genesis 49, section 4. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou wentest up to thy father's bed, then defilest thou it. He went up to my couch, or crotch, and defile mean to rape, to force yourself upon. So they've been raped pretty much, like forced upon, just dang. So they were unstable for a while. Outside of a place like the Everglades, the nomadic lifestyle of the traditional Seminoles, who moved about the state as native people, always had following the seasons, was doomed. The Indians who constituted the nucleus of this Florida group thought of themselves as Yatseminole, or free people. Yatseminole, because for centuries their ancestors had resisted the attempts of the Spaniards to conquer and convert them, as well as the attempts of the English to take their lands and use them as military pawns. Soon white Americans would begin to call of the Indians in Florida by the name Seminoles. Racist. 1 Corinthians 5, section 18. The sons of Reuben and the Gadites and half the tribe of Manasseh, of valiant men able to bear buckler and sword, and to shoot with bow, and skillful in war, were 440,760 that went out to the war. The clash of the inevitably resulted from this policy finally began in 1835, and the 7 years that it lasted framed the last, the greatest, inarguable, the most tragic years in the history of United States Indian relations east of the Mississippi River. Known to history as the Second Seminole War, the United States government committed almost 400 million to the forced removal of slightly more than 3,000 Muskogee men, women, and children from Florida to Oklahoma. This was the only Indian war in United States history in which not only the United States Army but also the United States Navy and Marine Corps participated. Together with the desultory Third Seminole War, a series of skirmishes that took place between 1856 and 1858, the United States spent much of the first half of the 19th century in trying unsuccessfully to dislodge about 5,000 Seminoles from Florida. Several of the Indians' fighting techniques were calculated to strike terror. Some warriors entered battle naked except for a loincloth, but their bodies were stretched in bizarre examples in red and black paint. In council, there might be a half in red circle of paint under each eye, and silver rings in the nose, tattoo. A few famous braves had their ears elongated and slit. So page 123 of the Mahun 1967 book. So 1 Corinthians verse 5 section 1. Now the sons of Reuben, which is Ra'aban, the firstborn of Yasharala, the firstborn of Yasharala or Jacob, for he was the firstborn, but forasmuch as he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given unto the sons of Joseph, the sons of Israel, and the genealogy is not to be reckoned after the birthright. And these were the original seminal, let me remember the name they called it, Simeonian. Let me see, these words are new to me. Okay. Alright, Yat-Seminole. So these are the original Yat-Seminole, which is the Indians, the so-called Seminole Indians, and they were originally dark-skinned as well. It's crazy. Alright, so we have 3 more left. Ashur, so-called Colombia, Ecuador, Venezuela, Brazil, Peru, Bolivia, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Genesis 30, section 13. And Ashur is Ashar. Genesis 30, section 13. And Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Ashar. Genesis 49, section 20. Out of Ashar his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Deuteronomy 32, section 24. And of Ashar he said, let Ashar be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren, and let him dip his foot in oil. Deuteronomy 33, section 25. The shoes shall be iron and brass, and as thy days so shall thy strength be, like iron and brass. 1 Corinthians 12, section 36. And of Ashar, such as went forth to battle, expert in war, 40,000. Dang, got a lot of warriors in the Hebrew Israelite tribe. Alright, 1 Corinthians 7, section 40. All these were the children of Ashar, heads of their father's house, Israel, choice and mighty men of valor, chief of the princes. And the number throughout the genealogy of them that were apt to the war and to battle was 26,000 men. So who knows if they're trying to say this is what's going to happen now. Look at these numbers. Alright, and this is how they look like before. Alright, last 2. Naphtali, Napatalia, so-called Argentina and Chile. Genesis 30, section 8. And Rachel said, with great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister Leah, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali, or Napatalia. Genesis 49, section 21. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. Deuteronomy 33, section 23. And of Naphtali he said, O Napatalia, satisfied with favor and full with the blessing of Adonai. Possessest thou the west of the south? 1 Corinthians 12, section 34. And of Napatalia 1,000 captains, and with them with shield and spear 37,000. Once again, we have all these numbers right here, which is pretty much probably trying to tell us the number of people that is joining in the war against the evil that's around, that won't get away. So 1 Ki 7, wait, I think they messed up right here. 1 Corinthians 7, section 14. He was a widowed son of the tribe of Napatalia, and his father was a man of Tyre, a worker in brass. And he was filled with wisdom and understanding, and cunning to work all works in brass. And he came to King Solomon and wrought all his work. All right, and these were these people right here, the Argentinians and the Chile, all tribes of the Hebrew Israelites that's been scattered. And right here, we're on the final one. Issachar, so-called Mexicans. Genesis 30, section 18. And Leah said, Yahweh hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar, which is Yashakar. Yashakar. Genesis 49, section 14. Issachar is a strong ass couching down between two burdens. Ass meant donkey back then, by the way. Genesis 49, section 15. And he saw that rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulder to bear, and came a servant unto tribute. Deuteronomy 33, section 18. And of Zubalon, which is Zabalawa, he said, Rejoice, Zabalawa, in thy going out, and Yashakar in thy tents. Deuteronomy 33, section 19. They shall call the people into the mountain. There they shall offer sacrifices of righteousness, for they shall suck of the abundance of the seeds and of treasures hid in the sand. 1 Corinthians 12, section 32. And of the children of Issachar, which is Yashakar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do. The heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Here we go, and these will be the Mexicans. So this is their country as well. They are part of the Hebrew Israelite nation. And that's pretty much it. All praises to Yahweh Bashar Yahawashi. All praises to Yahweh Basham Yahawashi. And the 12 tribes of Israel. Yasharala. So I hope you guys learned a lot today. In the next video, what I'm actually going to show you guys will be a little bit about this. This one's going to be pretty short. It's actually pretty short. I might as well do it right now since we're here now. Alright, let's do it. Negroes, Latinos, and native Indians are the real Hebrew Israelites by heritage and bloodlines. By the way, this person has a lot of great information on their page, so check it out right here. Alright, let's finish up. We are prophets of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashai. The Most High himself asked all what is his name and his son's name. Proverbs 30, section 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who had bound the waters in a garment? Who had established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Give me 1 second, guys. right? So what is his name if thou canst tell? Then he demands that we all call him by his Hebrew name altogether. So, Zep 3, section 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, Hebrew, that they may all call upon the name of Adonai to serve him with one consent. The Most High then proclaims that he doesn't have many names, which is contrary to the false doctrine of many false churches who say God or Yahweh has many names, which is a lie. ZCH 14 section 9. And Adonai shall be king over all the earth, and that day shall there be one Adonai, and its name one. There is only one name that can save you. Acts 4 section 12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. Especially if the true God and the true Creator and the true Most High had visited its people, which is the Hebrew Israelites, and they're the one who translated or channeled the name and the words and the messages of the Most High that's been coming true. It's obvious. It's all been coming true, guys. So Yahweh, and I showed y'all in the previous video in part 4 how it breaks down. The YHWH and the YHWH, same thing. YHWH, YH, and you see how they kind of almost look the same? Look at the patterns. But when you get to Hebrew today, it looks slightly different. You see what I'm saying? And when you get to the Canaanite language, the Proto-Canaanite language before Christ, in the 1400s, it looked completely different. YHWH or YHYH, which is YHWH really, YHWH. Alright, so now let's continue. So when you check here, YHWH stand for Yahweh. There goes the references, and it means the self-existent or eternal. Yahweh. In English, they call it Jehovah, but it's wrong. That's not the name. Because Jehovah is the Israelites' national name of God, which means their corporate name to call it, which means that's from the Khazars. King James Version call it Jehovah, the Lord, God. That's a nice name either. It's Yahweh. So in Exodus 6, section 3, and I appeared unto Abraham, and to Isaac, and unto Jacob, by the name of God Almighty, Allah Shaddai, but by my name Yahweh, wrongly translated as Jehovah or Jehovah, was I not known to them? So Yah, contraction for blah blah blah, and meaning the same. Yah, the sacred name. Yah, in English they call it Jah, which is the inappropriate way to call it, is the sacred name. Compare names Ayah and Jah. Jah, the Lord most vehement. All these things are not the name, it's Yah. So in Psalm 68, section 4, sing unto Yahweh, sing praise to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Yah, and rejoice before him, Yahweh. So the Hebrew letter, Yah. According to Wikipedia, in the Hebrew dictionary, the Hebrew character, when prefixed to a verb stem, indicates third person, future tense. Number and gender depends on suffix. He will or they will, Yod, Yah. Also, according to www.biblewill.com, the name of the 10th letter Yod, Y-A-D, denotes a hand, the symbol of personal action, power, and control. When prefixed to a verb, it indicates the grammatical conjugation called the third person masculine, imperfect, which conveys the idea of continuous action, usually expressed as he is doing, he was doing, or he will be doing something. Here are a few examples in the scriptures of the Hebrew character Yah. The root of this word is Amar, which means to say, this mean Amar, to say, the first letter is Wa, and the second is Ya. He then Amar, say altogether the word says, and he said. So let's go ahead, keep reading. The root of the word is Ba, which means to come. The first letter is Wa, and the second is Ya. And he, then lastly, Ba, come. Altogether the words say, and he is coming. So if you see it here, he said, he is coming. So Ya as a prefix in the beginning of a word means he. Ya as a suffix at the end of a word means, what does it mean? Let's see. Strong's. I, me, my, mine, own, myself, our, us, for my sake, we. When saying the Father's holy name, Yahweh, Yah is the prefix meaning he. Hawa, supposed to mean properly to breathe, to be in the sense of existence, existing, become, to get, have, hath, happened, was, come to pass, became, been, might, offer, shall, so am. Hawa. Hawa. So right here it says to be or to have. The Hebrew word Hawa means be, exists, or am. Be, exists, or am. When you put Yah and Hawa together, you get Yah, he, Hawa, be, exists, or am, is, or he is, or he exists, or he be, or whatever. In the scripture, Exodus 3, section 14. And God, Yahweh, said unto Moses, Moses, I am that I am. And he said, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Jacob, I am hath sent you unto you. I am hath sent me unto you. I am that I am, Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. The Most High would not prefer to himself as he be, he is, he am, or he exists. He speaks in the first party format, speaking about himself. He gave the meaning and definition of his name first to Moses, Masha, I am that I am, or simply I am, I be, I exist. However, he told Masha, Moses, in verse 15 what his name is and what to be called. Exodus 3, section 15. And Yahweh said moreover unto Masha, Moses, Thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, Adonai, Yahweh of your fathers, the Yahweh of Abraham, Yahweh of Isaac, and Yahweh of Jacob hath sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Yes, we're near the end of this, so bear with me, guys. Here, where you see Adonai in the verse in Hebrew is, right here, Yod He Vav He, which is YHWH, and right here translate to Yahweh. Plus he ordered Masha, Moses, to tell the children of Israel to call him Yahweh. He is, exists, be, am. Why? Because he said so. So it's Ahawa, Ahawa. I am, Ahaya. Alright, Romans 9, section 20. Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou made me thus? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Why hast thou made me thus? It only makes sense that since his name means I am, I be, that he would say he is, he exists when we refer to him, because we are talking about him. He exists, but that's not what he's saying, I am. So Saras, Ecclesiasticus 43:26. By him the end of them had prosperous success, and by his word all things consist. 27. We may speak much and yet come short, wherefore in some he is all. 28. How shall we be able to magnify him? For he is great above all his works. 29. Yahweh is terrible and very great, and marvelous is his power. 30. When ye glorify Adonai, exalt him as much as ye can, for even yet will he far exceed. And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength, and be not weary, for ye can never go far enough. 31. Who hath seen him, and he might tell us, and who can magnify him as he is? 32. There are yet hid greater things than these be, for we have seen but a few of his works. 33. For Yahweh hath made all things, and to the godly hath he given wisdom. Bahasham. Ba mean coming in. Ba. To go or come in a wide variety of application. It can mean abide, apply, attain, be, befall, besiege, bring, forth, in, into, to pass, besiege, to bring forth, to bring in, to bring into, to pass, call, carry, certainly, cause, let, thing, for, to come, to come, against, in, out, or upon the past, depart, doubtless again, eat, employ, cause to, enter, in, into, entering, entrance, entry, befallen, fetch, follow, get, give, go, down, in, toward, grant, have, indeed, invade, lead, lift up, mention, pull in, put, resort, run down, send, set, well, stricken, in age, surely, take, in, way. So like, ba means a lot of things. It normally means coming in. Something coming in, or something coming forth, or something coming to pass. Certainly, something along that line. So ha means the. So coming in the. So it can also mean in. So preference, the, a, who, this, that, which, and, o, today, he. So ha means a couple of stuff. It can mean this, that, who, a, which, and things like that. Now check it out. Strong, sham. Perhaps rather from H7760 through the idea of definite and conspicuous position, compare H8064. Name, a proper designation of a person, place, or thing. An appellation as a mark or memorial of individuality, by application, honor, authority, or character. Renown, fame, named, famous, infamous. Base, infame, infamous, named, renown, report. So this means name. So ba, coming in, ha, the, name, sham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Yahawashai. So now you get it right here when you put it together. So Ya, Yod, then you have the Ha, Wa, Sha, E. Ya, Ha, Wa, Shai. Yahawashai, like Joshua. So alright, now let's see what Yahawashai mean. Yahawashai or Yahawashi. It means he saves. Yahawashai. In English they call it Joshua, the Israelite leader. This is the whole leader of the whole thing. And other people call it Joshua, Jehoshua, Joshua, Jesus, or Yahushua. But it's Yahawashai. Yahawashai is a compound name meaning he saves or he delivers. So in the name of he that delivers, Bahasham Yahawashai. So Yah as a prefix in the beginning of a word means he. Remember that. So he that saves. Hawashi means deliver. Hosea. Also the name of 5 Israelites. Hawashai. Hosea. Osea. So in Matthew 1, section 21, and she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, which is Yahawashai, for he shall save his people from their sins. His name means he delivers or he saves because he is our Redeemer, Lord, Adonai, and Savior. So Zechariah 6, section 11, then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them upon the head of Yahawashai. Yahawashai is the so-called English translation. Joshua is the so-called English translation of Yahawashai, the son of Josedek, the high priest. Zechariah 6, section 12, and speak unto him, saying, thus speaketh Adonai of hosts, saying, behold the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of Adonai, the Lord. Zechariah 6, section 13. When he shall build the temple of Adonai, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne, and he shall be a priest upon his throne, and the council of peace shall be between them both. Jeremiah 23, section 5. Behold, the days come, saith Adonai, the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice. Justice. That's what Jesus means. Justice in the earth. Jeremiah 23, section 6. In his days Judah shall be saved, which is America, and Israel shall dwell safely, which is the tribe of Israel, all 12 tribes. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called Adonai of righteousness. The word Hawashi, deliver, comes from the Hebrew word Yashai, properly, to be open, wide or free, by implication, to be free, causatively, to free or succor, saved. So he that save, he that delivers. So in other languages they call it at all. He is that at all. Avenging, defend, he that come to defend, deliver or deliverer, help, preserve, rescue, be safe, bring, having salvation, save, get victory. So the letter J is an English letter which was not created until the 1500s through 1600s. Wikipedia says, in English, J most commonly represents the affricate D3, as in jet. I don't know what they mean by D3. In Old English, the phoneme D3 was represented orthographically as CG or C3. Under the influence of Old French, which had a similar phoneme, deriving from Latin J, English scribes begin to use I, later J, to represent word initial D3 of Old English. For example, Aist, later just. Okay. While using DG elsewhere, for example, hedge, DG, later many other uses of I, later J, were added in loan words from French and other languages. For example, add jointa, the J. The first English language book to make a clear distinction between I and J was published in 1634. In loan words such as Raj, J may be pronounced 3 by I don't know what this means right here. By some, but not all speakers. In some such cases, including Raj, Taj, Mahal, and others, the regular D3 is actually closer to the original. I know D3 means J, but yeah, that's weird. I don't know why they call it like that. It's actually closer to the original sound of the foreign language. making this realization a hyperforeignism. Occasionally, J represents other sounds, as in hallelujah instead of alleluia, hallelujah, or hallelujah, which is pronounced the same as hallelujah. See the Hebrew yud, for more details. So the letter J is really a replacement substitute for the letter Y. So that's it. We're at our end. We reach our destination. Contact me if you guys have any questions. I wish you guys much prosperity. All praises to Yahweh Basham Yahawashi, and may we continue to live in the divine covenant that we have with the Most High Israel. I love you all. Shalom.